I just slammed a coffee. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rejuvenated. A little twitchy, but nonetheless, I'm locked in. Laser focus. Put some like editing tricks in.
No.
Where you like do something where it's just like very laser focused.
No.
Hello and welcome to the workshop. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you very, very much. If you are new to the channel, you have not already done so, consider subscribing, especially if you like sneakers, because we upload a lot of sneaker videos. Buckets define a lot for the people.
Almost every single day.
Almost every single day. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. FOAMIE Simpson. And the last thing I want to mention before we dive into today's sneakers, which is a pair I'm very excited about, is this hoodie that I am currently wearing. It is the Uncivilized Monstera hoodie. Buckets, who is behind the camera, and myself, we created this brand, Uncivilized, 5 years ago. The brand turned 5 years old, Buckets. How do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good.
Time flies. It really, really does. So, established 2017. You see it. Almost threw my rotator cuff out of the socket, but it's okay. It's all right.
Torn labrum.
Yeah, torn labrum for sure. We will put a link in the description of this video if you want to grab a hoodie. Limited quantities, but they are available on the website right now. Limited time. Buckets, are you excited about this sneaker? I need you to tell me yes.
I won't say yes. I'll say less than you.
Okay. All right. Let's dive in. 3, 2, 1. Bang, bang. This is the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found. These are set to release November 19th and retail is $180. First off, I gotta say thank you to the good people over at Kicks Are For Us for looking out. They are a local sneaker resale shop down here in the Tampa area. A lot of you have been asking about this sneaker. It's a pair that I've been very excited about. And in hand, I gotta say, they do not disappoint. I actually like them even more now than I expected to, and I expected to like them. So that kind of lets you know where I'm at with them. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a Chicago Jordan 1. Doesn't get much more classic than that. Initially, I saw people calling them the Chicago Reimagined, and that is essentially what they are. But the details and the storytelling, they really do add to it, in my opinion. The overall vibe, the overall feel. The whole concept with this colorway is that this is an old pair of 1985 Jordan 1 Chicagos. You found them digging around in the back room, in the stock room, in the basement, wherever, at some mom and pop shop in Kentucky. You're just digging around back there. And bam, voila, you find these. You see there's this old school receipt, the mismatched box and lid, which again, back then, before there were these intricate and elaborate modern inventory systems, stuff like this could happen. This is before the internet. Buckets. No Instagram. No TikTok. No TikTok dances.
No dances.
No. And so you just had a handwritten receipt from a guy named Paul in August of '86. And that's just what it was.
A good time.
A good time. I mean, you weren't alive, but nonetheless, it sounds like it was a good time.
Yeah, I can imagine it was a good time.
You can imagine it was a good time. You've even got the price tag and sale stickers on the side. The details really do make this feel like a time warp, and I think that was the objective. You see it on the sneaker as well, not just the packaging. The entire sneaker has this super aged look, from the white leather on the toe box and mid panels, where it's a little bit more subtle, to the extra cracked black leather around the ankle here, where it is much more noticeable. Same deal on the tongue, where you can see it's kind of become discolored over the years. Nike Air tag front and center. Black swoosh on both sides of the sneaker. You've got the black Wings logo, as you can see. The red leather is still looking pretty crispy. Buckets. It's looking pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. I like how different parts of the sneaker have aged differently, because that's realistic. If you've seen a sneaker from way back in the day, you know, sometimes the midsole and the tongue look a lot more aged than maybe the upper, or just different parts of it. Buckets, they oxidize, they deteriorate.
Yeah, there's different rates of deterioration.
There you go. All right. I mean, you are the scientist, so I have to consult you on these matters.
I'm ready. I'm here.
They look dope. You've got a pair of white laces. There is also a black set as well. The midsole is like this sail color. Again, not a super pure white, but not like all the way yellowed, all the way aged. And I love the outsole. It is a classic red with buckets oxidation.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1, which is another sneaker that I really, really love. But buckets, it was the same thing. Those had a red outsole with that oxidized. You know, it's almost like...
Oh, it's fake oxidation.
Of course it is, but that look.
Yeah.
I like it. I think this is a really dope sneaker. I mean, anytime there's a Jordan 1 Chicago, I'm going to be a fan. It's such a classic sneaker. But the fact that they were able to spice them up this way with some of that storytelling, I think puts them even a little bit in a higher esteem?
Tier.
Definitely a higher tier. We've been seeing this aged aesthetic for a while now. You know, this has been going on buckets for a few years, maybe even more, with different brands where you see these pre-aged kind of looks. I think with the details and the story, that's what almost brings it together and bumps this way ahead of a lot of other sneakers that are just like, okay, it's got that aged or vintage look. And I really do like that look. I think what drew me to it initially, in buckets, we've talked about it, is the fact that when a sneaker already comes out of the box kind of aged, right? Then the more you beat them up, it kind of plays right into the essence of that sneaker. Add to it, with this particular pair, the fact that it's a Jordan 1, which again, you and I have talked about being maybe the most beat upable and still look good sneaker silhouette. The Jordan 1 itself is like that almost no matter what the colorway is. So you blend those two things together and you have a good recipe. Amalgamation.
Synergy.
A morphing, synergistic. It works really well. This is a pair of sneakers that you could put hundreds of miles on and they would look really dope. They would look like an old pair of 85 Chicagos, and I think that's really cool. So these are a yes for me. It's also been kind of nice to see those resale prices coming down. They do feel like they're going to be more obtainable than they would have been if they released maybe, I don't know, buckets 3, 4, 5 years ago, where I feel like the resale price on this would be $1,000 or more. And now I see they just seem to be coming down and down and down, which is good. And they do release soon, so we'll see how that kind of affects the market. But it's a really, really dope sneaker. Another thing I want to throw out there, I won't go on some whole tangent or rant, but this is the sneaker that started it all for Jordans. This was the one, literally and figuratively. And buckets, back then, people didn't expect these, and again, I'm going off what I've heard and what I've read, but people didn't expect these to turn into what they did. I mean, Nike was primarily focused on running sneakers, and Jordan was a rookie, and somehow the two of them came together. Jordan turned into the GOAT, and everything kind of went from there. But it is kind of interesting to take that time travel, time warp back and think about how things were then.
Think about Paul selling these.
Paul was selling, bro. Paul was slinging these, out of some, dimly lit, dusty mom and pop shop.
I don't want to speak on their lighting.
Yeah, I guess I can't speak on their lighting, and I don't want to act like the guy had a dirty shop. Paul, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said that. But it was a different time. Something that's kind of cool, kind of neat, if you will, is the fact that if you bought an original pair of Chicago's back then, or if this is the first pair of Jordan 1s you ever purchased, for both of those people, this is kind of a time warp back to August of 86.
There we go.
Kentucky. How you doing? Okay, these are a 10 out of 10 for me. I think they are in the running for sneaker of the year. I know some people won't agree with that. That's fine. Different strokes for different folks. The details, the fact that it's a Jordan 1 Chicago, the fact that the execution on it is mutabella. 10 out of 10 for me. Buckets, don't disappoint me.
I think I might disappoint you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised.
But that's not a fear I have.
Also, I'm aware.
So I think that it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that all the details, the receipt, the sales sticker, there's a lot of good things.
You love to do that. I love everything about them and this and that and this. 3 out of 10.
No, I never do that. I never say I love everything about them, the details, and then give it a 3 out of 10. Never once.
Okay.
I've never misfiled anything.
No, you haven't.
Not once. Yeah, 7.5.
Details, this, that. But why couldn't they be an 8, a 9, a 10?
I would have rather just had a Chicago 1. Like true to the OG.
So you don't like the details?
No, I do. I think it's neat. To quote you.
NEAT. Neat.
Yeah.
All right.
But I also would have liked these better if they were the black and red colorway.
Okay. Red ones greater than Chicago ones for you.
For sure.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, and this is just a disclaimer for the people out here, Buckets, you are on record. You were sitting in this exact seat, on this stool, technically.
Yeah.
And you articulated, you thought about it, and then it came out of your mouth that Crocs were a 10 out of 10.
Different scale entirely.
Okay.
Completely different scale, but yes.
That's like leisure pool scale?
Nah, leisure comfort.
Laundry day scale?
No, not laundry day.
All right.
Every day. And not only did I articulate it, think about it, record it, I then edited it. I then watched it. I then proofed it.
So you've like quadrupled down on the 10 out of 10 for Crocs. Just listen, take it with a grain of salt because he gave Crocs a 10 out of 10. So Buckets, your opinion, not going to say it doesn't matter, but it's tainted a bit, is all I'll say.
I would say that it doesn't matter. My opinion.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You're a mensch. Leave a comment below. Let us know, how do you feel about these? Scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about the time warp? What would it be like? You're digging around in that stock room, and there they are. Would you wear them? Would you display them? Thoughts, feelings, emotions, let us know how you feel. Always love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. You are very, very appreciated. We will be back tomorrow, mañana. Same time, same place, right here at the workshop with a brand new stinker for your head top. I got nothing else. Buckets, anything to add?
No.
Adios.